Hey there. I recently became enamored with what's going on with all of this AI based mixing and mastering and things like that, mostly because there was a sale on Ozone and on Neutron and the production pack and all that. So I decided to take a look at it to see what it could do and then also to see what I could do in relation to that. So I've got a song that I did back in 2010. I did a cover of Debbie Gibson's song Only in My Dreams. Yes, I know. Some of you may remember it. Many of you will not. Anyway, it's a muddy mess. This is cranked up a good bit because I did some level matching to make it work with some of the other stuff. But we'll just listen for a little bit. And you'll hear that it's very woofy and meh. But you know, it was 2010.
Every time I'm telling secrets, I remember how it used to be, and I realized how much.
All right, so you get the idea, and it's a little nasally. So I took that same song, and I then ran it through Ozone and just said, "Hey, Ozone, I'd like you to go and sorry, I'm in trial mode right now. I used the assistant view and said, hey, just figure some stuff out. And so it went through and it added an EQ curve and it did some stuff with the stabilizer and impact and an imager and some other stuff. And we'll look at that in just a second. And essentially what I got was this. So I'll start right here. This is my original version. This is Ozone, and then I'll eventually get down to this one, which is where I tried to see if I could duplicate what Ozone was doing with other plugins. So here we go.
I miss you, and I realize how it used to be free. Now I see I'm up to no good, and I want to start again. Can't remember when I felt good. No, I can't remember when. No, only in my dreams.
Woof, woof, woof.
As real as it may seem, it was only in my.
All right, so you can hear that Ozone one is way brighter. Matter of fact, let's just take a quick look while it plays. There's an EQ curve. It pulled up some low end. It took a whole bunch of lower mids out. And it added a really, like, almost a 3.5 dB gain at 6K. So let's just see what it did.
Couldn't see how much I missed you. Couldn't see how much it makes. Now I see my work.
All right, so the stabilizer is like a thing like Gullfoss or Soothe. There we go. That's what I was trying to remember. Soothe. And you'll see it's doing some stuff where it's playing with some resonance.
Come tumbling down my wall. Now I see the road is paved. If I only once could hold you and remember how it used to be. If only I could scold you.
All right, so the impact thing, I'm not totally sure what it's doing, but it's playing with different ranges in a multi-band way. I think it's doing something akin to expansion. There's also an imager here, and it's playing with width, surprisingly in the low end, but also doing some things here in the mids.
And forget how it used to be free. As real as it may seem, it was only my dreams.
All right, let's get to a vocal section for that dynamic EQ. Let's just back up here, because I have a feeling that's taking out some of the voice, and I know that's what this one's got to be, because where is it? 521. That's taking out the in me.
Scold you and forget how it used to be free. Only in my dreams, as real as it may seem, it was only in my dreams.
All right, see here it's a lot brighter. I've got this thing. It's claiming to be shooting for 11 LUFS. It's actually more like 9. Let's look here and let's see what it's doing. I should get on the right track, so let me get on the Ozone one. It's better if I get toward the vocals.
Is it missing? It was only in my dreams. Only in my dreams.
All right, that's really loud. But anyway, interesting little bit of fun that it had there. And so I decided to say, okay, well, that's cool. And that's great that it made some intelligent choices and it made a bad mix better. I'm not sure it made it exactly the way I'd make it, but it made it better. And so I said, well, okay, let's see what happens if I play around. And so we did this.
Only in my dreams. As real as it may seem, it was only in my dreams. Only in my dreams. As real as it may seem.
Okay, so I operated on this relatively quickly. There's maybe a little more low-end thump in the Ozone one, but this was really proof of concept. So let's see. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's see what I did to get here. I know you're going to be shocked to see. Oh, look, I used something from Plugin Alliance. So all I did here was put it in mid-side mode, and I turned up the sides. Let me find it. There's the gain right there. Yeah, so I took the sides up by 2 dB. So let's just do this. Let's take these 3 out and just listen.
Every time I'm telling secrets, I remember how it used to be. And I realize how much I miss you. And I realize how it used to be free.
So you hear that in the cymbals more than anything. You're and it's pushing out to the sides. All right, so the next thing I did was I came in and I did some EQ moves. And I used the Kirchhoff EQ, which I would normally use FabFilter if I'm trying to learn about the Kirchhoff. It looks like I've probably got something dynamic in here. Oh, look, I've got a lift. I've got a high-end lift, and I've brought the low end back up. But, hey, look at that. 348, I pulled out something wide, and it's got dynamic. So one of the differences here is I'm probably pulling out a little bit more than they were. Matter of fact, I could probably even pull that up and look at it. Let's see. They just did a big old wide cut and a low end boost, and I was a little bit more gentle. But anyway.
Now I see I'm up to no good, and I want to start again. Can't remember when I felt good.
So that dynamic bit there, that's to pull the out of my voice on my, I think what was recorded with an $80 mic. Should have been an AT2020 based on the time that I did that. But anyway, but I added that EQ. So,
No, I can't remember.
so we went. We started here.
Only in my dreams, as real as it may seem, it was only in my dreams.
That's getting pretty close. And I can toggle back and forth between the two. And by the way, there's a limiter here on the end, and that's mostly just to get the level matching working. Bringing it up 7.5 dB. That's fun. I didn't realize it set that high, but anyway. So if you listen right now where it is.
Couldn't see how much I missed you. Couldn't see how much it makes. Now I see my world come tumbling down. Now I see the road.
Okay, mine's a little bit crispier. So I came in with Soothe. Came in with Soothe 2. I don't even think I moved it very much. I think I just cranked the depth up and probably overcooked it a little bit because, well, that's what I do. But let's just give this a listen. Actually, let me leave that where you can see it. Maybe even a little bit smaller. Nope, not a little bit smaller. How about we just play it?
Road is bent. If I only once could hold you and remember how it used to be. If only I could scold you and forget how it used to be free. Only in my dreams, as real as it may seem, it was only in my dreams. It may seem, it was only in my dreams.
I probably even overcooked it a little bit there with Soothe. It really grabbed a hold this time and seemed to get a little bit crispy, but you get the gist of it. The bulk of this was just some EQ moves and boosting the sides and adding a limiter, and I got someplace very close. And if I had spent a little more time working with and learning Soothe or Smooth Operator or something like that, I could probably get very, very close very, very quickly. So this is interesting. I like what the robot tools have done, and I'm interested in playing with more of them. I've actually got another video planned where I'm going to go through the mix, and I'm going to let Nectar mix the whole song, and more or less, and see where that gets me and see what I think of that. But it's interesting, and I'm considering these tools as a means to get suggestions. It doesn't mean I'm going to use them exclusively, although they may be very helpful for getting someplace quickly. Very interesting. Anyway, just wanted to kind of throw that out there and see where it could land and share what I discovered with you. So here we go. So we'll go from original to Ozone to what I did. And here we go.
It was only my dream. Only my dream. It was only my dream.
Again, the Ozone one's got a little bit more oomph to it, and I could probably zero in on that. But you get the point. Anyway, wanted to share that with you and show what you might be able to learn just by taking some of these tools and playing with them. And you might be able to do it even with the Elements versions without being able to see all of the gory details, but instead just by listening and then making adjustments until you get there. There aren't that many components to these things. It's normally an EQ, some compression, some widening, which I prefer to do by just turning up the sides, and some playing with the limiter. So give it a shot, and good luck. Thanks. Bye.